From the moment he was called up to the big leagues in 2019, Fernando Tatis Jr. has been such a bright spot for baseball. Not only has he turned into an incredible player, but the energy and fun he brings to the field and to the San Diego Padres is incredible. He's always smiling, he dances, he watches his home runs, he flips his bat, does pretty much everything that would make old traditionalists mad, but he simply does not care. He has changed the entire culture over in San Diego, and Petco Park is the place to be during the baseball season, as it's like a party atmosphere. The players love him unless they're pitching to him, the Padres love him, and most importantly, Padres fans and fans of all teams love Tatis. He's become one of the more popular players in the game, and he's simply great for the game of baseball. Unfortunately, it looks like Fernando Tatis Jr. just made a big mistake. During the 2021 season, Fernando Tatis Jr. was incredible, hitting .282 with a .975 OPS, swatting 42 home runs, the most in the National League, became an All-Star, won a Silver Slugger Award, and finished third in the NL MVP voting. To add on to all of this, he was just 22 years old, and certainly gave the Padres all the more reason to be okay with giving him the big 14-year contract before that season. The offseason came and went, and although Tatis did get into a motorcycle accident back in the Dominican Republic, he was deemed okay and ready for spring training. Upon arriving to spring training, it was revealed that Tatis had fractured a part of his wrist, having to get surgery and being forced to miss at least the first 3 months of the season. The Padres started off really great without him, even catching up to the Dodgers at one point, but have since fell back way below them in the standings and will have to try and settle for a wildcard spot once again, something they failed to do last season after a second half collapse. The Padres haven't been the best team lately. They of course added Juan Soto, Josh Bell, and Josh Hader at the deadline among others and are looking to go deep into October. But another upcoming acquisition for them would be of course Fernando Tatis Jr., someone who hasn't played all year for the team due to that wrist injury that ended up knocking him out longer than expected. But as of August, the superstar started his rehab and was expected to finally return to the Padres this month, something fans of both the Padres and of other teams would be undoubtedly excited about. In a recent rehab game in AA, Tatis went 2 for 2 with a double, a triple, and a couple of walks. He's clearly ready, or at least pretty darn close to it, which is fantastic news for the Padres. Until Friday night's news. On Friday morning, Fernando Tatis Jr. took a drug test, and he failed it, testing positive for a banned performance-enhancing substance called Clostebol. I'm going to go on a limb and assume you've never heard of Clostebol. I didn't, but after looking it up, I found that it's a substance commonly used to treat skin conditions, but is also performance-enhancing. Clostebol was actually originally developed in East Germany and used by athletes there to gain an athletic advantage. It is a derivative of testosterone, but is considered a weaker anabolic agent compared to some other steroids. So Tatis could have used worse, but it's also of course a banned substance for a reason, something that, like I said, helps out with athletes to gain an advantage. This is obviously a huge blow to the Padres, and also just a horrible look for Tatis. Whenever someone gets popped for steroids, it's either a big deal or not a big deal. It's not a big deal if it's just some random schmuck, but if it's Fernando Tatis Jr., it's a huge deal. Tatis went out and immediately issued a statement on the matter, claiming he used a medicine to treat ringworm that had Clostebol in it, something he didn't realize was banned apparently. Padres general manager AJ Preller had some stuff to say about the situation, clearly not happy, saying that he thinks they were hoping that from the offseason to now that there would be some maturity, and obviously with the news today it's more of a pattern and something that they have got to dig a little bit more into. Going on to say, quote, "I'm sure he's very disappointed, but at the end of the day, it's one thing to say it. You have to start by showing it with your actions." End quote. Tatis initially appealed the suspension, but then chose to just start it right away, and will be gone for 80 games, missing the entirety of the 2022 season and at least the first month of 2023. Crazy news, just shocking. Let me know what you think about this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.